Hey everybody, this is Logan here at Don't Look at the Bus. I'm in studio with Miss Candace.
Hello, everyone. Nice to hear your silence again.
That was a weird opening, but
Hey,
okay.
you know what? Whatever.
Yeah,
It's real.
Yeah, it's real.
It's real.
We're
We're
real to
real.
the bone,
Yep.
except in this intro. But
Real to the core.
yeah. Today we're going to be talking about a few different things. Mainly last couple of weeks, we have not been getting these podcasts done like we've been wanting to.
Life has been hectic.
It has that, and we keep getting distracted or drunk. So
True.
it's common occurrence.
Yes.
Today, we kind of want to focus on the topic of music that's either inspired us or usually put us in a different state, but if that makes sense. But
The first thing we want to talk about is the fact that Logan almost died a week ago.
it was, yeah,
It's
about
about a week ago.
Yeah,
Do
we were
you want to tell the story from your perspective?
sure, and then you can do it.
Yeah.
We'll do like a
I'll just
two-parter. It'll be like
I'll add in. How about that?
There
I'll be
you
the background
there
of.
you-
And at this moment, this happened.
oh, there you go.
Ooh,
Okay.
suspense.
Right. Okay. So we decided to go for a walk. It was the 1st time I got out of the house that wasn't going straight to work.
If you
And-
don't know Logan, he really likes his computer games.
I have my gaming channel.
Yes, he has his
If you're
gaming
interested,
channel.
I'll have a link there in the bottom. So we were walking out the door, and we go across the parking lot to cross the street over to the park near where we live. Well,
It's only a 2-lane street.
It's a two-lane street,
2-lane street.
25-mile-per-hour street.
Crosswalk.
Crosswalk, and that's where we were at. So
Yep.
we get up to the crosswalk, and we step in the street, like we put our toe in the street basically. And some dude just keeps driving, and we're like waiting for him to stop, and we're like, all right, well, fine, just keep going, dick. And
So we make it across the first lane.
make it across the first lane, and we're halfway in the middle
We're
of the street.
almost to the dotted yellow line.
Yes.
Almost.
And there's this one lady coming in a car. I can't remember if it was
It was a really nice high-end car. That's all I remember.
and I could have made a lot of money. But we were in the middle of the street, and I was looking right at her, but I don't think she even fucking saw us. But she was
No.
going like 35, I want to say. She was going like
Yeah.
20.
She was
like going 10
definitely
over.
speeding.
She was definitely speeding. Well, we cross over, or we're getting over into the middle there, and I'm like, okay, you gonna
Yeah.
stop? And I'm like, oh shit, she's
Yeah.
not stopping. And
Oh,
within
only because I told you.
yeah, and I was like, oh fuck.
He was walking across,
Yeah.
and I saw this lady. She was not slowing down.
I
She
was
did
like-
not have her foot on the brake. And all of a sudden, I said, "Logan, she's not stopping."
And I was like, fuck.
The
and
next thing
stepped-
I know, Logan throws his hands up in the air, kind of like, "Oh, slow down!"
like one of those
And-
wacky inflatable balloon guys.
Yeah, and his life flashed before my eyes, and I'm thinking, "Oh my God, my roommate is going to die or be in a coma. What am I gonna do?
Who's gonna pay the rent?
Who's gonna pay the rent?" So there was probably m- maybe a foot between you and that car. Maybe.
It was actually less.
Yeah,
It was pretty
it-
close. Like her tire, I could have probably kicked her tire. That's how
Yeah,
close I was.
Oh my
And
gosh. And
I-
so there was this guy.
That was
who
a guy
in
who was
the
on the
intersection.
at the like on the other side of
Yeah,
the street, and
and
he
he-
fucking started honking his horn. But for some
Yeah.
reason, I thought he was honking his horn at
No,
me.
he
but
was
that
honking his
weird.
horn at the lady to slow the heck down
Oh,
because
we were cussing at her.
it was one of those things where the guy who honked his horn was leaning his head out the window and yelling at this lady, and after the whole incident happened, he was making sure we were okay.
And then she stopped. She finally stopped like 2 blocks away and was like,
Yeah.
What's going on? I don't know."
And the only thing I can think of that would be on her side is maybe the sun was in her eyes, but you would expect if the sun's in your eyes, slow down.
And then if you look and you see that there's a whole line of cars on the other side of the street, stop, because there was like 4 cars.
Yeah.
On the lane going on the
Yeah,
right-hand lane.
because the guy who had honked at us had done a U-turn in that intersection, which is illegal, but he had done a U-turn and saw us, and he kind of stopped traffic for us so we'd be able to cross. So not only did one car just blaze through the intersection,
And that was before we were actually
was-
really in it. But
we'd stepped in and he'd gone through, and it's like, well, in a
Fuck
small
you.
town, whatever.
yeah.
And then this lady almost takes out my roommate. The money. The money.
The money.
Oh,
She
man.
would have killed me. She would have been out of rent. If
Yeah.
she would have hit me, we would have been
Rolling.
in the rent.
We
We'd have
would've
been rolling in the rent.
rolling. We would have rent for
Rolling
days.
for days. We could make so many podcasts. Because I couldn't leave the
All
apartment.
the podcasts.
We'd have my nurse. We'd have my nurse in on the podcast. She'd be like, yeah, we're here in the podcast. I'm just giving Logan a sponge bath. I don't know. Whatever.
Maybe she'd make us food.
Ooh, there you
Ooh,
go.
we could have a live-in cook.
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
my gosh, can you imagine if
Oh,
she
I-
had culinary experience?
Oh, if she was Jamaican too.
Oh.
Here, child, take these pills.
Oh
that
my
was a bad. Please,
That was terrible.
please don't.
I'm judging.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm judging. Oh my gosh.
Here you
So-
go, child.
Oh man, so has anything else exciting happened
No.
over the last few weeks? I mean, we haven't recorded in forever, and
Our
you almost died.
internet or our power bill went up $1.
Oh yeah, dude, that was intense.
Went from 112 last month
to
to
113.
113.
Oh my god. So we're trying not to use our dishwasher, seeing if that helps.
Mhm.
And hopefully soon, because the weather's been nice, we're gonna use drying racks and be eco-friendly.
I was just gonna say cheapskates, but
Cheapskates, yeah.
But you know what? Let's slap that title on there. I like
Okay.
that title.
So, are you ready to get down to the nitty-gritty, or do you have anything else to say?
I haven't gotten much to say. I don't really.
Yeah,
Get
we're
out.
pretty boring.
Yeah. I mean, but if you guys want to know what I've been up to the last couple of weeks, check out my gaming channel. I know that's a shameless plug,
Such
but
a move.
shut up.
Okay.
I'll let
so-
you open up because.
Okay, so we have been trying to figure out topics, and at first we were deciding like what figures in history we want to talk about, and that's for another story because we haven't had enough time to really take.
She hasn't.
I haven't had enough time to take notes, and my brain doesn't work as well as Logan's. Let's just admit it. But tonight we are actually talking about one of my favorite topics, which is music. And tonight we are going to talk about different songs that either inspired us, changed our life, or every time we hear them, we just can't help but bust out and dance. So, do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first? Okay.
You go first.
I'll go first. So, I don't know if you all are familiar with a very famous duo, Simon and Garfunkel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, one of their songs, "Lean on Me," right? Was it theirs? Fuck, I don't remember.
Wow,
Okay,
for
no.
somebody.
You can edit this part out. Okay.
No, I'm gonna keep it.
No, no. Okay, so it was Simon and Garfunkel, and they did a song, "Bridge Over Troubled Waters." Not "Lean on," that's later in life, but "Bridge Over Troubled Waters." I heard it for the first time when I was in choir, actually, and we did it at
Bill Withers.
What?
Bill Withers wrote "Lean on Me."
Oh, thank you. That actually is my favorite song, and I'm embarrassed that I don't remember the original artist.
I was trying to find the movie at the library.
Oh, I love that movie with
Yep.
Morgan Freeman.
Yep.
I love that.
Lean on
Actually,
me.
when you're not strong.
And holy shit, I just dropped the mouse. Oh my
Please
goodness.
tell me everything's okay.
Yeah, everything's good.
Okay, everything's good. He dropped the mouse, but okay.
Drop the mic,
So-
drop the mouse.
I will talk about Simon and Garfunkel first, and then you can go, and then I'll talk about Lean on Me. How about that? Yeah?
Yeah, go open up
Yeah.
Lean on Me, then
Yeah.
Garfunkel. There you go.
No. Simon and Garfunkel first.
Okay, well,
Uh,
it's up to you. You're the
yeah,
one talking,
that's
so.
what. Okay, so Simon and Garfunkel did a song, "Bridge Over Troubled Waters," and the first time I heard it was when I was in choir. There you go. And we did it as a finale during our last choir performance, which was Spring Fling, if I remember correctly. And I don't know what it is about that song, but it's very inspiring. And I remember hearing, she's actually local now. She
Touching.
sings at different restaurants and whatnot. I don't really want to say her name yet, but should I?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, sure. Her name's Megan Turner. Megan, if you hear this podcast, you do a phenomenal job. But she did a solo, and it was when I was like a freshman or a sophomore in high school, I want to say. And I don't know why, but that is definitely one of the songs I sing in the shower. It inspires me. It's all about friendship. It's all about like dude, when life gets tough, when life is just crap, I'm here for you. And I guess one thing, like one thing I think of when I think of that song is like, that's how I feel about my friends. Like, dude, when life is just complete shit, it's like, I'm here for you. It's like, come over. I'll be your friend. I'll help you through. Like, I'm not going to judge. I'm just going to be there for you.
I'll be your Morgan Freeman.
I'll be a huckleberry.
Wait,
Wait, Huckleberry, right? So
It's
originally,
Huckleberry.
no, it's not actually Huckleberry. It's Huckleberry, in case you didn't know.
I'll be your
Little-
Huckleberry.
No, he says Huckleberry. Anywho, so the first song I really...
Huckleberry pie 'cause I'm fat now.
So the first song I remember loving was Bridge Over Troubled Waters. Now, Logan, tell me yours before I talk about Lean on Me.
Oh, look, I want that you're leading the lean on me. But okay, so my I guess you know what? I actually don't really know any really songs. I'm a bit of a poser when it comes to music, but like I used to be called a poser back in like middle school for like dressing like a gangster, even though I didn't really listen to gangster rap, even though I did, but I didn't really understand it. I but I guess I would say "Shadow on the Sun" by Audio Slave.
Good song.
It was a great. I love that song.
Reminds me of when we stopped recording podcasts and just listened to music.
Yeah,
Yeah, we did that like a week ago.
3 times. Anyway, that song. I hate to say this, but that song inspired me to get a tattoo on my arm. And it's not. There's no lyrics. It's just a shadow sun.
It's a sun?
It's a sun.
I forget what it is.
What?
Well, you're always wearing a shirt, so,
Oh yeah,
which is healthy.
healthy. Okay.
Healthy for roommates to wear clothes.
Exactly. I'm like, I was gonna, but anyway, they have really good music. I really loved Like a Stone.
Yes.
It's slow. It's casual. It's I really,
I like the simplicity of it.
it is.
It is a very simple song. You listen to it and I mean, granted, I don't agree with his lyrics half the time. They're kind of mumbo jumbo, but the music itself, like
Look
the
too
instrument.
far in.
I'm sorry. Okay. So if you don't know this about me, no, what? I'm a musician. I sing.
I thought you were going to talk about.
No, I sing. And so when I listen to music, I have a different interpretation of people who are not as musically inclined as I am. I was raised in a music family, and so...
She was in The Sound of Music.
No, I was not.
Yes, she was.
Although, the hills are alive. That's not my real singing voice. I can't blow your minds just yet. But, no, I really like that song. So, what are you... Really? The Von Trapp family?
You were the Von Trapp family.
No.
You were in
I
the
am-
Von Trapp family.
Maybe I was little... I can't remember her name. The youngest one.
Bocephus.
Bocephus?
Bocephus.
Oh, no. Oh, but anyways, yeah, no, Audio Slave. They're great.
Oh, I love him. That and I was a couple of years ago. I was depressed when the lead singer. I can't remember his name. It was on the top of my tongue earlier, on the tip of my tongue earlier. Chris Cornell, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Chris Cornell.
From Audio Slave?
Yeah.
The lead singer? Okay.
Yeah,
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 you were
yeah,
just
yeah.
telling me about this.
Yeah, Chris Cornell. So
I didn't even know.
Yeah, apparently he committed suicide a couple of years ago.
Such a tragedy.
After a concert, or I don't know if it was what is it? If he ended up overdosing or if he hung himself, but it's been a while since I looked into it. But he has a really good song before he died. It was actually when he branched out on his own. It was I Nearly Forgot My Broken Heart. And I love the music video for it because it's not the. There's 2 music videos. There's the lyric video, which is amazing. I love it because it's like a model of. It looks like an antique globes and star maps and stuff, and it looks amazing. Like it's all animation, but it looks fantastic.
I haven't watched this.
I think I may have shown it to you at one point.
No, I think
Not
we.
recently,
No,
but-
I don't think we ever went to anything he did prior.
after Audioslave.
Yeah, after Audioslave.
They also did Soundgarden as well. They did a Johnny
Okay.
Cash cover called Rusty Cage by Johnny Cash, but they did a cover which sounded really good.
Johnny Cash does some amazing covers. Can we just touch on that for a
Oh,
second?
yeah.
Hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my. Oh my gosh. There's just something that Johnny Cash.
Huh? Oh yeah, he's dead.
He said,
yeah, he
okay,
died.
I can't remember when he died.
Like,
okay, no.
14 years ago?
I can't
15
remember when he
years
died.
ago.
But no, like,
No, 16 years ago.
hearing him sing Hurt, like, changed my life. Yes, that's another song. He nailed it. And if I remember correctly, the original singer of it, don't remember who sang it.
Oh, I have no idea.
I'm sorry, you guys are gonna have to look it up. I can't.
We're
wait,
posers.
you can look
Oh,
up.
wait, yeah, I
We can look it up. We have the Google.
The Google.
We have the Google. So when he sang "Hurt,"
Trevor Reznor. Who's
For
fucking
9 Inch Nails. Okay, so
35.
9 Inch Nails. From what I remember, and I was reading the story, I don't know if it's true, but I'm just gonna say it anyways. The lead singer heard Johnny Cash sing the cover of "Hurt," and he basically said to Johnny Cash, he's like, "Dude, this is your song. This song was written for you. I don't want to sing it anymore because you nailed it. You have." Is it encompass the
soul?
Yeah, the soul of the song. And he just gave it a different feeling, a different emotion than the lead singer of 9 Inch Nails ever could. And he's like, dude, I am almost embarrassed that I sang this song because it's yours. And I thought that was pretty fascinating. And if you ever listen to Johnny Cash's version of Hurt, you'll listen to it, and if you're a musician, you'll probably think the same thing.
You probably heard the song in
You've-
a meme or
yeah.
something, but
But no, it's actually a really great song. I can't listen to it without feeling something. So
yeah, that's a good one. I think who else did oh no, 9 Inch Nails did Hurt. That's the one I'm thinking of that I heard recently, a rendition. I was like, who is that?
Who's singing Johnny Cash's
who's singing
song?
Johnny Cash?
Who's
But
singing for Johnny Cash?
But all this time, apparently I've been thinking, who's singing 9 Inch Nails song? But
Right? No. Okay. So
But you know who does a really good cover? Is Lorde. And yeah, I know Lorde, but she does I know Lorde. She does a good version of what is it? Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears, and it's amazing.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. No, I never heard it, but I've loved all her work. Did you know? Fun fact: she hates the song Royals,
mm-hmm.
the one that made her famous. I love singing it.
Like an artist who hates his own paintings.
Oh my gosh, they're so temperamental. Like, oh my gosh, why did I do that brushstroke there?
South Park, when they made they did an episode where Randy, one of the main characters' dad, Stan, his dad, ended up being Lorde this whole time.
What?
And he was like, wait, how did you make
No.
that? I was like, yeah, well, I was pooping on the toilet one day and
He's always on the
I
toilet.
was playing around with the Fruity Loops, with the Loops app on my phone, and I was just recording, and I messed around with the audio, and yeah, now I'm Lorde, and he ends
Oh
up
my
dressing up
God.
like her. Well, Lorde heard the song, or watched the episode, and she's like, well, I've never really watched South Park before, but I think it's funny, but
No.
at the same time, she's like,
I hate that song.
no, she's like, well, no, because he wasn't singing her songs. He
Oh,
was
okay.
making his own, but he's like,
Okay.
she's like, I like him, but I don't remember if she actually she did a cover of one of the songs from South Park,
No!
and it was like
What?
Wednesday or something
Oh
like
my
that. I can't
gosh.
remember what it
Oh
was.
my gosh.
Feeling good on a Tuesday kind of deal. And I think she might have done it, but I don't want to Google it because then I feel like an
wasn't
idiot.
there
But
something like that? Something on a Tuesday, right? Oh God, I don't
I think that's
remember.
Lonely Island.
Okay. I
Mother
Oh,
lovers
I
on a
get-
Tuesday.
I get confused with all the parodies out there.
There's too many parodies. We're parody fanatics.
We really are.
Weird
We-
Al.
Yep.
Uh, Lonely Island. I mean, they're not really. They make their own songs, but who else does really good parodies? I mean, I know the Key of Awesome does good ones. I enjoy them. There's also
I don't really know. I just know Weird Al
Weird
and yeah, Lonely Island Boys.
Al.
Sorry about.
Oh, I'm gonna edit that out.
Please. Yes, edit this out. No. So other songs? Are there any other songs that have impacted your life that you really like to listen to? They're like your go-to.
My go-to.
So we never talked about "Lean on Me."
Oh yeah.
So,
Go back to
okay,
Lean on Me. Oh,
okay,
geez.
yeah. So we'll bring this back to "Lean on Me." I love the movie. Morgan Freeman, principal. Man, he just knew how to lay down the law. But
Carries around a baseball bat. That's the kind of principle you want.
yeah, no, I loved it in the movie when he actually went to that kid's house and talked to his mom and was like, "What's going on? How do I help?" He was very interested in the community, and I love that about him. But no, that song, don't judge me, but the first time I heard it was actually DC Talk. They did a cover of it, and it was super like 90s, hip hoppy and everything. But you go to the original, like the lyrics, and you read it, and maybe I'm a sucker for songs about friendship where everyone's like, "Oh, I'll help you, just come to me," bridge over troubled waters. It's the
Or-
same type of thing.
Bromance. You remember Bromance?
Oh my,
It was the funny one I showed you.
no, I don't.
Bromance?
Romance?
Yeah.
Who was it?
Bromance. Nothing really gay about it. No.
It sounds.
I can't-
Who did it? Lonely Island?
No, it was I don't know if I can say his name or not, but it's Nigga Higa. That's
Ooh.
or Nija Higa. I don't.
Oh gosh, we're
he's,
so white.
he's Asian, so
Okay.
we're translucent. We're trying
we
to be.
don't know what's happening.
We don't know what's
We're
going
trying
on.
to be congruent with modern culture.
Maybe you. I'm already hip with it, but I just didn't want to say. I didn't want to say.
Hey,
it.
you know what? Shush.
It's Nigahiga, and he's very popular on YouTube.
Bromance.
So
Okay.
it's hilarious. It's a
Okay.
great song if you have your bros or your sisters,
Your
sisters,
sisters?
your sisters, and you wanna show them that you appreciate them. Send that video to
Okay.
them or show them
Alright.
that video. Post it on their Facebook or whatever, and be like, "Yo, this is us. You're my bro. We got a bromance."
Okay. Are you ready to wrap this episode up? Do you have another song?
Well, there's I'm looking here at my library because I can't think of anything off the top of my
we're
head.
so old school. You got
so-
one more.
Eastbound and Down by Jerry Reed. That's actually one of my dad's favorite songs.
Jerry Reed.
You know Jerry Reed?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, you know Jerry Reed. Okay, good.
I know the name.
Yeah.
Remind me of the.
Eastbound and Down, or She Got the Gold Mine, or Amos
yeah.
Moses.
She got.
The Gold Mine.
No,
She got the
Amos
shit-
Moses.
Yeah, and that's
Amos Moses. He lived safe in the swamp.
Amos
He
Moses
hunted
was a
alligator.
Cajun.
He lived by himself in the swamp. He hunted alligators for a living. He just knocked him in the head with a song. Oh my gosh, you know that song?
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah,
cow.
it's one of my favorites.
I love that song.
Well, we just found something else in our
Oh my
friendship.
gosh.
So.
Yes, you have. Oh my gosh, I love that song. We'll have to sing it sometime.
We'll have to do a rendition.
Yes.
When she gets her guitar playing.
Yes, I'm working on it.
I
You
am a
know
small
Amos
little
Moses?
Cajun. Yeah. It's one of my it's actually what
No,
I named
Amos
my
Moses.
Steam account
He
on.
lived by himself in the swamp.
I have a Steam account. It's under Loger. It's Catfish Loger. And
Just
it was
throw him in the swamp. Let down gone clean up to the elbow.
she's singing way out of order, but we'll
I'm-
get it down. We'll get it
I'm
down.
sorry. I just love that song.
But anyway,
it reminds me of a friend.
Eastbound and Down. There you go.
I want to take his arm off.
Oh.
Just kidding.
Oh yeah.
'Cause I
Are
love
you an
him.
alligator?
Maybe.
Because that's what takes his arm clean up to the stump.
Anywho, sorry.
Anyway,
Your
so
turn.
yeah, Eastbound and Down is one of my favorites because it reminds me of my dad. He's a trucker and everything, and it's actually one of his favorites. His favorite movies are Eastbound and Down, Convoy, and one of his favorite actors who just passed away was. I was almost about ready to say Tom Selleck. Not Tom Selleck. No.
Okay.
He's a national treasure. But the same thing with Burt Reynolds.
Oh, Smokey and the Bandit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah,
great
that's-
movie.
Jerry Reed was in it too.
Yeah, classic movie. Yeah.
He,
Moment of silence for Burt Reynolds.
and Jerry Reed, who died in like the 90s, 2000.
Moment over.
Moment over. Okay.
Okay.
But yeah,
Great song.
yeah, I love that.
I really didn't know you liked that song.
Yeah, Amos Moses.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. I fucking love that song because
I think we've
it reminds
reached-
me of when I was a kid. We used to go Amos Moses, the song. Remind me of when I was a kid. We'd go play out in the ditches around my neighborhood. Well, when me and my buddy, we were about 14. We went down to the lake one night. We built a fire on the beach about this time. It was about March. We went down to the lake, down to our favorite thing. Well, we ended up building a fire and catching catfish in the middle of the night till like 2 o'clock in the morning. And
What?
we caught over 100 catfish. I'm telling you, we had five-gallon drums.
Drum barrels?
Drum barrels. We had 5-gallon barrels from Home Depot. We loaded those things up with like over 100 catfish. And my buddy's like, well, this is a lot more fish than we wanted, but we took them anyway because they're basically a pest in our lake. Well,
Yeah.
we took them, and my buddy took a couple home. Well, we ended up throwing the rest out in a pond across the street from us. You know that housing development on the main road by my mom's house? Well, okay. Well, anyway, we put them all in there, and after a couple of months, me and my friend, we went out there. We took his grandpa's John boat out there. I'm telling you, this pond is like maybe, I want to say, it was maybe about 2 or 3 feet deep. Or it wasn't even that, I want to say, but we had a 14-foot John boat. I don't know if you know what those are, but they're basically just a big flat boat. And we took it out there, and we're riding around. He has a little motor on the back of it, a little trolling motor, and we're going around this shallow ass pond, fishing for catfish that we threw out there, so that we didn't have to go all the way down to the lake, which is like a couple miles away from us, because he only lived like 100 feet from the pond, but it was a housing development area where they dug it up, and then they took too long, and then the EPA or whatever in our area told them, hey, you can't build houses there, so they turned into a wetland. Well, we're out there on the pond floating around on the boat, and a sheriff drives by, and he's like, what are you guys doing? And we're like, fishing, and they're like, the cop's like, okay, well, whatever, you weirdos. And he drove off, and we're like, yeah, joke's on him. Well, he saw us later after we were taking the John boat back. We had a couple of catfish hanging on a line, on a couple of lines, and he's like, where did you get those fish? And we're like, we just got it out of the pond here. And he's like, really? So we were, like maybe 2 weeks later, we were standing down waiting for the bus down, like across the street from the pond, and we were waiting there, and all of a sudden we see a bunch of EPA and Forest Service, or I guess it was the Fish and Game, were out there testing the waters, and they were finding dead catfish. They were finding a whole bunch of them left and right, and then they kind of took off. We didn't see them. They were wondering where the fuck they all came from. Well, then after a while, my buddy's like, hey dude, come check this out, meet me down at the pond. I'm like, okay. So we go down to the pond, and we get down there, and me, him, and another one of our friends, one of the neighbor kids, we're out there with cups, like cups, and then we have like coffee cans. No, well, like
Solo cups.
yeah, kind of like those, or like
Okay.
or just like regular cups, and we're out there and we're scooping up baby catfish,
Okay.
like little ones. They look like little black sperms because they're like little black. They're
Okay.
black, and they're like
Okay.
they're what are they, minnows? And we're scooping up these little baby catfish by the thousands because the catfish that we threw in there spawned. And so and so when the sheriff and whoever were out there picking up dead fish out of the water, they're like, what's going on here? They had already spawned and died. So
Oh my gosh. Okay.
so we created an ecosystem in a pond across the street where it was just a housing development. There's no other access besides like water runoff, and since we live in a swamp, although like it's nothing but mud, or clay, the water just rises to the surface. So that's where all the water was coming from. And then we had those in. And then as soon as the fish started growing and everything, it was actually bringing in other animals too. So we were bringing in cranes. We had geese. We only had seagulls at this point, but we had geese. There was cranes. There was a couple of kingfishers as well. Or not
Okay.
kingfishers, sorry. Osprey
Okay.
coming in, and we were, we were just blown away by what we did. But that's why I'm such a
What is
hippie.
it, a heron?
Herring, yeah.
Were
yeah.
there heron?
Yeah,
Were
yeah,
there heron?
yeah, heron. They're like a
Heron?
crane, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, we ended up taking these catfish and we took them to. I brought some back home. I had a 25-gallon fish tank, and I had already had like maybe, I want to say like, sorry, I think I had like 10 or 12 goldfish in it at the time, and they were medium-sized goldfish. They grew from the little feeder fish. Well, when I brought home the baby catfish, those goldfish started eating them. But I had there was like 500 baby catfish in there. So those goldfish would eat them, and then they'd get too full. Well, after a while, those catfish started preying on the goldfish, and they were crazy. So like the goldfish would eat them, and whatnot. Well, after a while, once they started getting bigger and they started getting those prongs on their face, the barbs on the catfish, their whiskers. Well, they started retaliating against the goldfish, and I started off with 12 goldfish, and after after I had only maybe about 50 grown, or not 50, well, they weren't grown, but medium-sized catfish. They were probably about 6 inches. I had only 2 goldfish left because
cow.
the catfish would swarm the goldfish. One of them, I saw them do this weird tactic where they would send one like a kamikaze. He'd fly right into the other one's, into a goldfish's mouth,
Yeah.
and then his barbs would go out, and it would kill the goldfish, and then he'd kill him in return, like almost like a bee sting,
Okay.
and then the baby catfish would swarm the goldfish and kill it. And so,
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
but after a while, after those like 9 of them died off or whatever.
Goldfish?
Yeah,
Okay.
9 of the goldfish died off. I had 2 great big goldfish and a bunch of medium-sized catfish in this 25-gallon tank. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, you know what? I better move these guys out. So I was going to keep the goldfish. Well, one day I woke up one morning, looked at my aquarium.
Were all the catfish?
Everything was dead. Goldfish, catfish.
No.
And it was about ready to be 2 days before I was able to move them into something bigger or into something. I was so
No.
pissed because I even did a school report on it too. I was like maybe 14 or 15 at the time, but yeah, it was.
Plain ignorance.
But it was hilarious, and that's where the Amos Moses comes in, because I always felt like
okay.
I felt like I was playing out there in the swamp with the catfish. They call me Catfish Loga. Instead of hunting alligator in the swamp, I was hunting catfish out in the pond across the street from my friend's house. So,
Oh man.
so
It's amazing how you can loop back around to a song. Like a
exactly.
song will remind you of a moment in your life where it just makes you feel something, or it reminds you of something. It's just fascinating how music does that.
It's true. But yeah, let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
I got places to be and people to do. But anyway,
People to see,
people to see,
beer to drink,
and
songs to sing.
well, I'm tone deaf, so
That's true.
anyway.
All right. Well, it has been great being with you wherever you are, morning, noon, night, whatever time it is.
In the afterlife.
Sure.
But
So we hope this provokes you to think about songs that, I don't know, spark an emotion, spark a memory, and just kind of ponder that for a little bit.
there you go.
But in the meantime,
Don't look at the bus.